Hi, it's Milton Kane. As you know that I was involved with the Christian Democratic Party, but as you also know, some months ago, due to various irregularities within the organisation, the Supreme Court, in fact the Equity Division of the Supreme Court, shut down the Christian Democratic Party. I, at the time when this was concluding, spoke to a number of members of the Christian Democratic Party at the time. And I told them, if the organisation was to fold because of what the court was doing, then I would be prepared, if they wanted me to try and establish a new Christian political party. They asked me to so do, and that I have done. At this particular point of time, we have created a political party called C4C, or Christians for Community. And slowly but surely, we are getting all of the registrations that are needed. There are several things you need to do. You need to register the name. You need to register the organisation as an incorporated association with Fair Trading of New South Wales. We also need to apply for an ABN. We also need to apply to get a tax file number. We also need to apply for charity status. All these things are either done or in the process of awaiting for the government departments to process them, and if all the details are there, they'll get back to me in a short time to have all these things in place. Why should we bother to have a Christian political party is a really fundamental question that we need to ask from time to time. Well, let's face it, there are those moral questions which Christians constantly and continually are concerned about. Those issues go to the heart and soul of what life is about. The issues of abortion, the issues of euthanasia, the issues associated with personal relationships, marriage, what it should look like. All of those issues are very fundamental and important for Christians. And yet it is not only these issues that are concerning. This week, the RBA again has lifted interest rates. And there is a real concern in regard to this. I have studied economics, and it is very clear the process which the government is involved with. Now, this is not just the previous administration under Scott Morrison or the current administration under Albanese, but it is the processes of government since the 1970s. An active decision was made to control and manage inflation by increasing unemployment. Not only that, the unemployment rate of pay was not to be continually increased in line with inflation, in line with wages, but rather it was designed to actually increase at a far lower rate. You see, the philosophy under which they operate is you can control and manage inflation at a significantly lower level if you have high rates of unemployment. And those high rates of unemployment would be at least around about the 4%. But actually we do have a higher rate of unemployment because we have an underemployment, simply because a few hours work deems you to be employed. It is certainly not a sustainable wage. But around about 10 to 11%, it seems at this stage, as I would do my calculations, is what effective unemployment rate really is. The poverty of the people who are on these benefits, the poverty of the people who are working these low wages, is essential as far as the government is concerned to control and to manage inflation. But there are better ways to deal with inflation. And as Christians, we actually have a responsibility to make sure that people are not being in extended periods of time of poverty. We should have a moral duty and responsibility to attempt to alleviate poverty wherever it is found. In spite of our levels of unemployment, we actually have the need, apparently, to bring some skilled labour in from overseas. Those of you who do not know about life in the 70s, which is the period of time in which we started to change where things were, we had the Commonwealth Employment Service. And if you had lost a job, you would sign up to the Commonwealth Employment Service and you would find a job. If you didn't find a job, it was not unusual to be sent to a government department or a local council. We had the public works departments back then. We also had councils employing staff, not employing contractors. And you would end up in a job there. I know of some people who have just retired recently who got their start at local government level in that very same way. You see, under the current system, you register for unemployment with an employment agency, and they are making a lot of money. What they are doing is they are not giving you a job, they're not helping you to get a job, not until the financial reward for them is sufficiently great enough. What they want you to do is to do a certain amount of activity. If you do sufficient activity, you continue to get a benefit. Surely the object of the exercise ought to be to get a person a job. There are moral questions in association with that. And also associated with all of this stuff about the economy is affordability of housing. We have many people sleeping rough. They're on streets, sleeping in cars. Some of our cities, when we walk around them, we can see people in sleeping bags with all their possessions there, going to sleep in our cities. This should never be. There is a moral position for us to take. We as a Christian political party have the capacity to feed into that, if we choose. I want to invite you to join us so that we can actually make a difference, to really make a difference in the political outcomes for people in this country. We need it, the Australia needs it. But how do you join? Very simple. What you do is you contact me at milton@miltonkane.com and I will send you the details. I will have this run across the bottom of the screen. What we need to understand also in this political party, we need to get 100 members together so we can actually contest local government elections. As we get towards this particular number, what I want to do is to hold a meeting so we can endorse the Constitution, perhaps with amendments, so we can endorse the foundation documents, perhaps with amendments. All of those things which are essential. But those first 100 members will be offered free membership for the first 12 months. Once we've got 100 members, Then we have to move on so we can contest state government elections. We need 750 members for that. And federally, there are the need for 1,500 members to be able to contest federal elections. That is to be able to contest them in your party name. You can still contest them as independents. You can still have your material endorsing what you're about and about your political ideals. The fact that you are a Christian political party, you can do that. There are some people who want to become associated with Australian Christians, and so do I. The problem with going down the track, as some people have been doing, joining the Australian Christians, is that they will not, until such a time as on the ground in this state you have 100 members that live and are registered in New South Wales to vote. You cannot contest local government elections in the name of your political party. When you have 750 people in this state registered to vote and members of the party, then you can actually have your named party on the ballot paper. With the Australian Christians, yes, they already have registered. They have sufficient members to be registered for federal, so hence it is possible. The people who are assisting me at this particular point of time want to discuss with the Australian Christians from Western Australia. We want to discuss with how we can have a pathway forward and how we can actually be united in what we do. We would like to see a single united Christian party in Australia. And it's for that reason that I invite you to join us so we can negotiate with the Australian Christians and to have everything on the ground here. So as soon as we get those members in this state, we can actually become registered to be able to run in those elections, both the local government and the state elections. Some say, why be involved in local government elections? Every major party vets their people via local government elections. It is a good training ground for a person. It is a good training ground for campaigning. It is a very good ground to begin with. So I invite you again to come and join with us. All you need to do is to drop me a line at milton@miltonkane.com, and I will send you the relevant documents so that you're able to have a look at the Constitution, have a look at the foundation documents, and then fill in the membership form. Remember, the first 100 members will be free membership. Thank you. I hope to hear from you soon.